These hairs are growing in y no sé qué hacer con ellos. Okay, y'all, so Jude is down for the night. Ricardo is at the gym. I am going to finish cooking this pozole, and then hopefully after that I can start editing this video, take a shower. I might go to the gym tonight, we'll see. Welcome to my monthly reset. Okay, so I know that monthly resets are usually
super chill, super relaxed, very aesthetic.
But that is not my life, and I'm not going to try to pretend that it is my life. There are quite a few things that I didn't get to do in my last monthly reset because of time constraints. As you guys know, I uploaded it 2 weeks late. So because I don't want to do that this time around, I started filming yesterday, which today is October 21st. So I started filming October 20th for my November monthly reset, in case you guys get confused with the way that this video ends up coming out. So one thing that I did want to mention is that there were quite a few things that I didn't get to include in my last monthly reset because of the time constraints. One of the big things I think was definitely going deeper into my budgeting. I did kind of just do like a brief overview as to the changes that were happening to our finances, but I didn't show you guys the tools that I was using or kind of where we're at right now. I will say we are not comfortable sharing the specific numbers that go into our finances, but I will still share kind of where we're at and what has helped us make sure that we're able to budget for this house. And then another thing that was super important that I forgot to mention was basically how we set up childcare, because I change my schedule around every single month depending on Ricardo's schedule to make sure that Jude is with me or with him the most throughout the week. And then when we can use my mom or my mother-in-law to help us so that neither one of our schedules at work gets impacted too much, then we ask them for help. But that's become very difficult, and that's something that I'm going to be talking about in this month because I actually had to go out of my comfort zone and look for somebody outside of our immediate family to help with childcare. So we will be going into that and kind of how I set up my childcare planning every month, because every month is different. In case you didn't know, my husband's a firefighter, which means that every single week his schedule rotates, which is very hard when it comes to scheduling childcare and making sure that our baby is well taken care of, because nobody's going to be able to take care of her better than her mom and her dad, you know? That's one big thing that I forgot to mention that I will be mentioning in this video. And then of course, I don't know how, but I forgot to mention that I am still in school. I did mention it in one of my vlogs. Hello, if you're new here, by the way, my name's Natalie. I should have said that at the beginning of the video, but I'm getting better at remembering closer to the beginning of the video. But I didn't mention it in last month's video. I am still in school. I haven't dropped my classes, surprisingly, I know, but I need to figure out some sort of routine regimen, some sort of way to include my studying and like times for my assignments in my schedule. And I think I kind of just put it in the back burner for right now, but that might come back and bite me in the ass come midterms and finals. So that's why I kind of just want to address it now and make sure that I'm making time for it as I should. And I did mention it in last month's video, but I wanted to take some time to set up some sort of cleaning schedule. I love to clean. I love cleaning. I definitely do not have enough time to clean the way that I would like now with my baby. She's 9 months, in case anybody was wondering. But now that we have more space, I find it harder to stay on top of things even though I clean every day. So I want to also address that sooner rather than later to make sure that it's kind of like a habit. And you know, this whole thing is setting habits, right? Because I know that I'm not going to be able to check everything off of my to-do list, but it always helps to have some sort of habit established already to kind of be able to navigate through your day in a more organized fashion and not feel like overwhelmed with things that need to be done by the end of the day. Does that make sense? And then I also, this might be wishful thinking, but I would like to come up with a menu. I don't think that I can come up with a monthly menu, but I think maybe come up with recipes I would like to try this month. Just something that will help us mentally prepare for cooking meals at home, because I think one of the things that takes the most of my brain power when it comes to cooking is figuring out what to cook. So if I take some time to prep for at least what I can cook, then maybe that will help me, but that could be wishful thinking. I don't know. I want to try it and see how it goes. So that's another thing that we will be doing in this video. There are a few other things that I wanted to include in this video, and I did script out this whole part that you're seeing, but I wasn't going to memorize what I was going to say, so I'm gonna read to you the other things that I'm going to include in this video from my phone, because that's where my script is. But the last 4 things that I wanted to include in this video are my monthly favorites, my home and personal wish list. Okay, I need to elaborate on that, because I used to be the type of person who, this is not healthy in any way, shape, or form, and I think there's something psychological attached to it. We'll talk about it maybe. But if I wanted something, I would just swipe. And I think I did that a lot when I was pregnant. I think I did that a lot when my in-laws moved out of my old house. If you guys remember, they lived with us for a while. And although I think that a lot of the purchases that I made were useful purchases because they were things for my house to decorate, to decorate and to organize my house, and then to decorate and organize Jude's nursery before she was born. But I think a lot of that was emotional spending. And I think when my in-laws first moved out, because I had not lived in my own space for so long, I just kind of went and spent on a bunch of things to make me feel like that was my home, because it had been not just our home, but our home and their home at the same time for so long. Does that make sense? Like I felt like, oh, independent. Like, you know, when you first move into a place after you moved out of your parents' house, that's how I felt when my in-laws moved out of our house. So I just kind of spent freely, and a lot of that was on credit cards, which is not good. And the same thing with Jude's nursery. I think with Jude and spending for Jude's nursery, the reason that I spent the way that I did was because a lot of the things that came with becoming a mom and being pregnant, as you guys know, I shared this multiple times on Instagram, a lot of those things felt out of my control. And in order for me to feel control over that situation, the only thing I could think of was prepping as much as possible. And unfortunately, prepping meant spending money on her nursery. And I will say it was good money spent, because everything that I bought we've used, but at the same time there was definitely times that I could have been a lot wiser with my spending. All of this to say, I've created these wish lists because, like I told you guys in the last video, I'm being much smarter about my spending ever since moving into this house. Because another thing is, whether I like to admit it or not, there was a lot of times when I would use credit cards as a method to keep up with the Joneses and just to have something pretty to post on social media. I think that's the biggest thing for me. It wasn't so much like brand names or anything like that. It was more so like to take the pretty picture to put on my story. And this time around, when we moved into this house, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have this house and feel like I had to furnish it right away. I didn't want to feel like I had to decorate it right away, because realistically, even at the old house, I didn't start to make it our home until maybe the last 2 years that we were there. And I didn't have to do it that way. I could have taken my time and made sure that I wasn't overspending, you know, or spending what I didn't have, essentially, just to feel some sense of security. I don't know. But this time, like I said, I'm not in any rush to furnish this whole house. As much as I would love to buy coordinating containers to organize my pantry, I'm not gonna do that until we have the money for it. And so, like I said, I have all these wish lists that I wanna share with you guys, because I think it's almost like my method of window shopping, because I also have a personal wish list as well. So that is why this category is coming into play, all of that explanation to tell you guys that I'm also gonna be including my wish lists on here. That's it. And then at the end of the video, probably, or I don't know, somewhere in this video, I will also be including the end of month reflection for October. So that will also be included on here. One of the things that I didn't put on my script, but I will be including also in the video, is my vision board, because I didn't share it last month, but I have 2 already created, and I'm updating my vision board basically every month, and I feel like that's what works for me. So I've been keeping up with my vision board, and I want to say that the one that I've created this month has been my favorite one. I might keep it a little bit longer because I just love the way it looks. It's simple, it's clean, it's aesthetic, and it's just my vibes. So I will share that with you guys as well, and then I will kind of just go over my process and why I've been doing one every single month. That's what you can be expecting from this video. I hope to have this video up by November 1st, but who knows, life happens. I don't know how moms find the time to film and edit and do all the things and work out and cook. I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out because again, this is gonna be my job one day, and so in order for me to make this happen, I have to treat it like a job. So right now I am filming while baby Jude is sleeping, and then I'm just gonna upload these clips onto my computer, and then I'm probably gonna go to sleep because I gotta work in the morning. So yeah, let's get this video started. Okay guys, so today we are going to take some time to review my October goals and see kind of how I did. Today when you're watching this, it is October 24th when I'm filming it, so obviously there's still about a week left, but I don't think that that's gonna make much difference for the type of goals that I set. So first of all, I wanted to go over the intentions of the month. I remember in last month's video, I had only filled out 2 intentions, which were the focus on more and then the celebrate the little wins, but then I ended up writing down ebbs and flows. I think in my head what made sense was honoring the ebbs and flows of life, because that is something that is very constant in my life right now. So that is why I chose to write that as one of my intentions. I will say I don't feel like I focused on more as much as I would have wanted, but I do feel like I did pretty good with keeping the celebration of the little wins. So I will take what I can get at this point. For professional and academic goals, I think I might be at 15.55 for case closures at work. This last weekend, I had a pretty rough weekend with case closures. So I don't know if I'm gonna hit the 16 like I had wanted, but again, I won't know until the end of the month, but I will update you guys next month. The 100% quality on those audits, I think I already hit that. I think I might have one more audit left, but as of right now, I am at 100% in quality for the audits that I have at my 9 to 5. The next one that I had on here is upload 4 vlogs by the end of the month. Look y'all, I've been planning this specific video for so long. a lot of my focus went into scripting this video, making sure that I was more organized with filming this video and just didn't leave out a lot of the things that I felt like I left out in the last monthly reset. So all of that to say, this is going to be my only video in October, which technically is not even going to go up in October. It's going to go up in November, si Dios quiere. So no videos went up this month, but next month, even though I plan to do a December monthly reset, I am planning to at least upload one vlog, and we will go over that whenever we set goals for November. Okay, and so I had also written that I wanted 230 subscribers, and we haven't hit that. I was at 227 as of yesterday, and then I woke up and then I was at 226, but now checking, I am once again at 227. So right now we are at 227 subscribers. I think when I did the last monthly reset, I was at 225. So I will take those 2 subscribers. Hello, if you are the new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate you taking time to watch my videos. For watch time, I have 16 hours of watch time. You want to say hi?
Oh. What's up, suckers?
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
So I had written 16 hours of watch time. In next month's video, or next month's goals, I think I want to change the way that I'm tracking the watch hours, and I'll explain to you guys how I'm going to do that whenever we set those goals. Okay, so for the health and wellness goals, I put that I wanted to lift 3 times a week. To be completely honest, I think this month, it wasn't as successful as the month prior. I definitely don't think that I lifted 3 times a week for the majority of the week. The step average by end of month, I wanted it to be 7K. And I checked it this morning and I was at 7,060 steps on average. So I did hit that one, thank God, because I feel like I haven't hit any of these goals that I had set for myself, except for that one and the work one. I did not meditate once a week. I haven't meditated since who knows when. More home cooked meals. I think we did worse on that this month than the month prior. Pelvic floor work, I haven't done any of that. I cannot wait to set goals for November because I have a lot of things that I need to add on here. And then I had put down eat 1 serving of veggies per day, and that also didn't happen. So feeling a little defeated looking at those ones. But let's move on to the next section. Okay, so for personal development, I had written take time every night to prepare for the following day. I didn't do that as much as the month prior. I think the motivation fell from like the first month of doing all of these practices, and I went from like a really high to, I wouldn't say like a low, but I definitely don't feel as motivated as I did when I first started this whole concept of the monthly reset. So yeah, I didn't do that. And then I had written dedicate time to learning more about productivity apps once a week. I didn't do that either. Actually, I kind of did. So this month I did start using Notion a lot more, and it's life changing. So I guess maybe I would give myself credit on that one. On here I have written my lifting numbers, probably because I couldn't fit it on the health and wellness, but because I was definitely not consistent in the gym this month, I'm not even going to compare my numbers that are there to my numbers now. And then lastly, we have the financial goals. I wanted to review our budget on Sundays to make sure we were set to go for the following week. I didn't do that, but I feel like because Ricardo and I get paid alternative weeks, when I do the bills and do our budget and stuff, I feel like I'm pretty on top of how much money we have left for miscellaneous costs or whatever. So I feel like even though I didn't review the budget on Sundays, I was still pretty much on top of where our money was going and how we were spending it. So I'll give myself like half a point for that one. The last financial goal was build a no spend streak. And again, I'm sure there were plenty of days where we didn't spend any money on things that we shouldn't have been spending on, but I didn't keep track of them. I will say I feel like there's probably more days where we did spend on like coffee or going out to eat than days that we did not spend on things that, I don't want to say that we shouldn't spend on, but things that we could have saved money on, which now when I say it like that, it kind of makes me feel like, what are we doing? Okay, so that is my review of the October goals. I feel kind of like down on myself a little bit for not hitting all of these, but right now I just want to extend grace to myself and tell myself that the whole purpose of these monthly resets is to have something to work towards, not so much to have little things to nitpick at myself for that are going to make me feel like worse about myself. That's not the point. The whole point is just to have some sort of guidance and like I said, like something to work towards. So even though I didn't get to check off all of these boxes, I'm still proud of the things that I was able to do. And that's all I'm gonna be able to film today. So I might see you guys tomorrow. Let's get started with the wellness wheel. So I ended up pulling up my old wellness wheel from last month, and then I want to compare it to my newest one that I ended up finishing yesterday. I think the best way to start this is to start with the lowest ranked wheels, which would be my occupational, my recreational, my social, and my spiritual categories. To start off with occupational, I think that I'm at a place where I really am grateful for my job. I get a lot of great benefits. The pay is really well. The flexibility with my schedule is really well. It's a good job. It's a great company, but it's just not doing it for me anymore. I feel like it's pretty redundant. I feel like it's easy. I don't feel like it's challenging. The word that I would use to describe how I feel right now is complacent. I have always been the person that would say, like, if you don't like what you're doing, then change it. And this is what I'm doing because I've had lots of opportunities to move up in the company. I know that if I tried to move up in the company, I could. But the thing is, the positions that are available to me right now aren't things that I'm interested in. And I came to the realization that it might be a lot easier for me to get into something creative if I have a degree that has a concentration in creativity, which is why I'm continuing with school and trying to just build some consistency with YouTube. And I didn't do a great job of it this month, but I feel like there's some internal change happening with me in the sense of believing that I am deserving of making content creation my job, because a lot of the time I felt like I wasn't good enough to do it because of the way that I look, because of the content that I make, etc., etc. But the reality is that I wasn't committing to it or giving my all to it as I should if I wanted it to be my job. I wish that I would have had this realization a lot sooner, because it is 10 times more difficult to dedicate your time to anything once you become a mom, because I'm sure lots of moms can relate to this, but as soon as Jude was born, it was like, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make her life better. A lot of the time that means that by the time that I hit the bed, I'm exhausted because I give her every single ounce that I have in me. And maybe that's not the healthiest thing to do, but I feel like that's kind of the road that I'm navigating right now. So I'm trying to find the balance between being a mom, being a wife, and then trying to make a career out of my content, school and work, friendships and family and all of that stuff. So that's why the occupational part of this is rated so low, because I feel like I'm at a place of complacency and I'm not happy with it. I'm grateful, and I'm grateful for the people that I've gotten to meet, and for, honestly guys, all of the people that have ever been my managers any leadership, they've all been really good to me. I've been very blessed in that way. So I have a hard time also like admitting that I'm not happy, knowing that it's a good, reliable job and a good work environment for me. The recreational stuff, the hobbies, fun, and downtime, I think that I rated this so low because I'm taking YouTube out of that category because it is not a hobby. Eventually it's going to be my job. And so then I started thinking of like the fun and downtime aspect of things, and I haven't dedicated a lot of time to doing that either. It's been really hard because again, I feel pretty tired by the end of the day. By the end of the week, I rarely want to go out or do anything, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Social, it's the same thing. I think last month I did go out once with Selene, and then I had one phone call with her, and then I had another phone call with Cynthia, and that's doing much better than what I regularly would do with my friends because like I said, I'm very good at disappearing and not going out, not doing anything. But I still feel like there's a lot of work to do in that department. I'm just trying to navigate adult friendships. Okay, so for spirituality, I also rated that low only because the things that I feel like help me feel more spiritual are meditating, praying, and a lot of the time I pray. I feel like my meditations are my prayers. I feel like that's the time that I'm able to connect with God and just really get into alignment with who I want to be. And I don't know, I can't explain it, but I feel like when I meditate, that's my time with God. Because I haven't really done that, I definitely feel like it's one of the lowest ranking parts of my life right now, and I need to work on it. And meditating always makes me feel so much better because I feel like I am talking with a friend, but I'm also just giving myself time to slow down. So I'm gonna try again for next month to meditate more because I haven't meditated at all. Maybe at least one session a month, like that would be great. Like that would be better than not doing anything, so we'll see. And then the next categories, we're gonna go up to physical health, financial health, and then mental health. For physical health, I was trying to compare it to last month, and I think last month I did a lot better of a job in movement. Actually, I think I did a lot better of a job in general when it comes to physical health. I didn't move as much as I would like to in October. I kind of came to the realization in October that I felt like this is the most unhealthiest I've ever been. And I mean, like, I can literally feel it in my skin and my bones. And it was kind of like a rude awakening. And I haven't talked about this with anybody because it's pretty recent, but I had to go get blood work done because I've been having some abdominal pain, and there was a lot of other things going on. But I went to go get blood work done, and they called me a couple days ago to let me know that I was basically 1 point away or in, I don't remember. They have certain categories of levels that you should be at when it comes to the sugar in your blood, and I don't remember if I was over or 1 away. I don't know how to explain it any better, but all I know is that I'm really close to being pre-diabetic, and that's never happened to me before. Even when I was pregnant, there was no issues with my sugar levels, so that really freaked me out, and if I talk about it too much, I'm probably gonna get emotional. That's where I'm at with my health right now. So if that isn't motivation to move more and get my health in check, then I don't know what is, because I felt it in my bones. I felt my body so different in the sense of like so many aches and pains. I know a lot of it has to do with my lack of movement and sitting down so much, and probably not using the right muscles to pick up Jude and not stretching enough, and then I'm also aging. So those are a lot of the things that I've been looking at, and also my diet. I don't know if we talked about it before, I don't remember, and honestly my brain is like today, but I think that when I went into eating disorder recovery, because all of my food rules were gone, because that's how I was instructed to handle it, I went to the complete other extreme. You know, there was no food rules at all, And I think that that's what I needed. I needed to go all in order to lose those fears of food. But then I think because I did that, I stopped prioritizing the foods that I felt like made my body feel the best because of the way that I've been feeling in my body and, you know, just like the news that I got from the doctor and stuff. Even before I got my results from the doctor, I was already telling Ricardo how uncomfortable I was and that I was ready to get on an intentional weight loss journey again. And I don't know if this is the right thing because of my eating disorder. I don't know if it's the right thing, but it feels a lot better than the last time I tried it. And I feel like I'm extending a lot more grace to myself during this, and I think it's because I am trying to focus more on building habits instead of just the product. And I think because I feel so uncomfortable and so out of shape, I think that that's helping me to focus more on the feeling that I'm trying to get to. I'm still aiming for an aesthetic as well, but to me right now, most importantly, it's just, first of all, to not be anywhere close to being pre-diabetic, and then secondly, to just feel good in my body. And I don't mean it in the sense of like feeling confident in my body. I just don't want to be hurting all the time. I don't want to feel so out of breath anymore. I just want to feel like I can run and lift and bend down and do all the things to my best ability. I feel like I'm taking my body for granted. I feel like I have so much knowledge about fitness and nutrition and I haven't been applying it. And it was fine. I mean, it's fine. I feel like that I needed to go through that season of life to get to where I am right now. But I think I am not willing to feel this unhealthy for the rest of my life. Yeah, I guess you guys are the first to know. So whoever actually watches this video all the way through is gonna be one of the first people to know. Let's move on. I'll probably talk about that more in the goal setting part of this video, but for financial health, I feel like, again, I'm doing pretty average. Honestly, I feel like I've always been financially smart in the sense of I always knew where my money was going. I always knew what was coming in and how to disperse of it in a responsible way. I know where the money should go and how it should be spent. I know a lot about credit, and now of course I know a lot about home buying and all that stuff. So right now, I need to remember that this is talking about right now. Right now I feel pretty average, but I think we can make more of an effort to saving money and to start tackling some of our big debts. So that's why I kind of just rated it average, and we'll talk about that again in the goal setting part of this video. The next one is my mental health. I've had a lot of stuff going on since we moved into this house, and I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job mentally of handling all of these things. And I haven't been to therapy since before we moved into this house, which we moved into this house in August. So I haven't had any therapy since then. I feel like for the things that have been coming up and the way that I've been handling them, I feel like I'm doing pretty well. Every time that I would go to therapy thinking, oh, I don't really have a lot to talk about today, there was always so much to talk about. So I actually reached out to my therapist last week, and she emailed me her availability this morning actually, so I am going to see if I can get in a session with her and just catch up with her. I will keep you guys updated. Well, I guess the thing that's rated the highest again is my environmental health. I am blessed and not naive to the fact that I am privileged to be in a home where I feel safe and comfortable, and so it felt good to at least fill one full pie on this wellness wheel. So looking at both of them side by side, I think it's very interesting the changes that I've noticed, because last month it was like the social one was the worst one, but I feel like this month there was a lot more things that went down. And I'm trying to get out of the mindset that if you fill one cup, the other cups are filled a little bit less. That's the only way I can explain the way I've been thinking about my wellness wheel lately. Is it possible to have this whole wellness wheel filled out completely? I don't know, but it's interesting to just like take a look at and then also be reminded of what to be grateful for when I am looking at this, which is my environmental health, you know. So yeah, that is the review for my wellness wheel for October. We will see how November goes, and then now we can get started with the goal setting part of this video. Okay, so this part should be fun. So to start off, I am reading these off of my Notion because I kind of wrote them in here, and then I will transfer them over to my Canva template, which I also wanted to say that I almost want to keep everything in Notion now just because I feel like it's a lot cleaner. And then looking at my template for my goals, I feel like it looks a little bit busy. So I don't know, we will see. But for right now, I'm going to read you what I have written so far, and then we'll just keep planning. So for my November intentions, I actually do have 3 already that I have on here that I want to keep in mind in November. The first one is to respect your rest. And I put this on here because I am very bad at resting. I am not as bad as I was in the past. I think in the past, when I would take rest days, I would beat myself up and like really self-deprecate when it came to taking days off of the gym, or, you know, just sitting on the couch and not doing anything. And I feel like I don't do that anymore because I try really hard not to self-deprecate. But I feel like I don't ever take days off, and I never give myself time to just do nothing. And that's what I mean by respect your rest. And then the next one, Ricardo helped me come up with, and he didn't even know, but I really took it to heart. He constantly reminds me that I'm allowed to take up space. So that's why I put take up space. I've been doing that a lot lately when I go to the gym, when I start to get anxiety of, you know, the people around me, or I start to think, what are they thinking? Are they judging the way that I look? Are they judging my roles? Like, you know, things like that. And I constantly have to tell myself, take up your space. It's okay. Like, you're allowed to take up space in this gym just like everybody else. I even have to do that at work because if you didn't know, I would limit my water consumption. I wouldn't really eat or anything because I didn't want to move from my desk because I didn't want anybody to see me. I was telling Ricardo this story the other day, and I didn't realize how sad it was till I was telling him, and I hope I don't get emotional, but sometimes I would eat cold oatmeal because I would feel so much anxiety in the break room waiting for my oatmeal to warm up that I would just leave. I just want to let you guys know that I've been having warm oatmeal. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my November intentions. For my career and professional goals, I kept the same goals for my 9 to 5, which is 16 case closures per hour plus 100% quality. I have one more audit left in October, but as of right now, I have 100% quality, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna stay at 100%. I think yesterday when I checked my case closures, I was at 15.15 case closures per hour. So we'll see if I'm able to hit 16 because, let's see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I have 3 more days left in the month, so we'll see. So for YouTube, I had written 230 subscribers, and as of right now, as of October 27th, I am at 228 subscribers, and I think 230 is too easy, so I am going to put 250 subscribers. And that sounds even scary to say out loud, but it feels nice to have a number to work towards, and I'm pretty aware every time I get a new subscriber, and it makes me really excited, and Ricardo and I make it this big thing. I'm just putting it out into the universe that this is a number that the minimum number of subscribers that I want by the end of November. And then for watch hours, so this is what I was going to talk about earlier, but I didn't. There is a YouTube Studio app for people who have a YouTube channel. If you want to get your channel monetized, it'll tell you how many subscribers you have and how many public watch hours you have. So as of right now, I have 132 public watch hours. And if you guys remember from last video, I would need 4,000 watch hours in order to get this channel monetized. 1 second, I need to check on my baby. Can you guys see her? you probably can't, but I can't tell if she's sleeping still or not. I think she's still sleeping. Just want to see if her eyes are open. But she has her little elbow like this, so you can't really tell. I have 132 public watch hours and I need 4,000. I had written that I wanted 135 watch hours, but because I am going to aim to put out more content in November, I'm going to put 140 watch hours by the end of November. They're my little baby hairs again. I just noticed them. I want to have at least 2 videos up in November, and depending on how this goes, it might be this one and another video. I kind of want to do a sit-down video instead of a vlog because there's lots of videos that I want to do in reference to becoming a first-time mom. But the thing is, I was telling Ricardo this, is like, I don't want to become a mommy vlogger. That's just not my intention, but at the same time, it's kind of the season of life that I'm in right now, is being a first-time mom and being a mom, you know? So we'll see what I come up with. That is what I put for another one of my goals. And then another thing that I'm thinking about doing is converting my YouTube videos into short form content for YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Reels. It doesn't take a lot of time, but I think it takes a lot of mental space to do that for me, because I already have like a flow when it comes to uploading videos, you know, and it takes, you guys might not notice it, but it takes so long to make the title of the video, the thumbnail, and then the description, and like try to get like your SEO up and all of that stuff. I might try to at least make one of my YouTube videos into a short form content trailer. We will see, but that is another goal that I had written on career and professional goals.